into the headlines. Congo reports more than 1,000 new mpox cases in a week. Contaminated corn linked to deaths of 400 dogs in Zambia. More than a dozen aid trucks cross into Darfur from Chad. Greek oil tanker on fire and adrift after multiple attacks in Red Sea. World's second largest diamond found in Botswana.
Good morning and welcome to Traceability TV News, your source for the latest updates on global traceability and safety concerns. I'm your host, Miriam Minyoki. We begin in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where a serious health crisis is unfolding. Over 1,000 new mpox cases have been reported in just 1 week, raising concerns across Africa. The World Health Organization has declared this outbreak a global emergency.
Mpox, a virus similar to smallpox but with milder symptoms, is spreading rapidly in Congo. The country has recorded nearly 18,000 cases this year, accounting for 94% of the continent's total. With only 1 in 5 suspected cases being tested, African health authorities are urgently calling for vaccines to combat the growing threat.
A troubling story out of Zambia, where contaminated maize is linked to the deaths of around 400 dogs, and there are fears that humans could also be at risk.
Zambia's Health Minister Elijah Muchima has raised alarms after discovering that half of the maize samples tested from local maize contain dangerously high levels of aflatoxins.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great concern that I address the nation today regarding detection of 11 aflatoxin levels in selected maize meal sold on the Zambian market. An alarming number of 100 dogs have died in the past month due to suspected contaminated feed.
While no human deaths have been reported yet, the government is recalling contaminated products and intensifying monitoring to prevent further tragedy.
In a significant humanitarian effort, over a dozen aid trucks have crossed into Sudan's Darfur region from Chad, delivering essential relief to those affected by famine.
The United Nations has confirmed that trucks carrying food and relief items from the World Food Programme and International Organization for Migration have arrived in Darfur. This aid is critical as millions face severe hunger due to ongoing conflict and displacement in the region.
A Greek oil tanker is adrift and on fire in the Red Sea following multiple attacks. Authorities from Britain and Greece are condemning these actions as violations of international law.
The Sunion, a Greek-owned tanker, was hit by gunfire and projectiles while sailing near Yemen's Hodeida port. No injuries have been reported, but the ship is severely damaged. These attacks are suspected to be linked to the ongoing conflict involving Yemen's Houthi movement, which has previously targeted commercial shipping in the region.
In Botswana, miners have uncovered the second largest diamond ever found, weighing a staggering 2,492 carats.
This massive diamond, discovered at the Karowe mine, is the largest ever found in Botswana. Known for its diamond production, the country is celebrating this extraordinary find. The diamond's value and gem quality are still being assessed, but is expected to draw global attention.
Tensions are escalating in Indonesia as thousands of protesters clashed with police, trying to storm the parliament over controversial election law changes.
Protesters are outraged over the new laws that could increase the political influence of outgoing President Joko Widodo. As police used tear gas and water cannons to disperse the crowds, the parliamentary vote was delayed. The situation remains tense as opposition to these changes grows.
Thailand has confirmed its first case of the mpox clade 1 strain, marking only the second time this variant has been detected outside Africa.
A European man recently arrived from Africa has tested positive for the clade 1b strain of mpox, sparking concerns due to its rapid spread. Thai health authorities are conducting extensive contact tracing to prevent further transmissions of its potentially dangerous variant.
A tragic accident in the Democratic Republic of Congo has claimed the lives of at least 29 people after a boat overturned on a river.
Rescue operations continue after a boat carrying up to 300 passengers capsized due to overloading and nighttime navigation. With many passengers still unaccounted for, authorities fear the death toll could rise further as the search continues.
Sri Lanka has announced free tourist visas for visitors from 35 countries in a bid to revive its tourism industry.
Starting October 1st, tourists from countries including China, India, and Russia will be eligible for free 30-day visas. This initiative aims to attract more visitors and generate much-needed revenue for Sri Lanka's struggling economy, which is still recovering from the pandemic and recent financial crisis.
Severe flooding in Bangladesh has left nearly 3 million people stranded and claimed 2 lives.
Monsoon rains have inundated large areas, causing widespread disruption and damage. As the government works to provide relief, more rain is expected, which could exacerbate the situation. Flooding remains a recurring issue in Bangladesh, often worsened by climate change.
Stay tuned for more news updates after the commercial break.
Welcome to Traceability TV, your ultimate destination for all things traceability. We're the global platform that brings you the latest in traceability news, interviews, and live event coverage. From in-depth news updates to exclusive interviews, Traceability TV keeps you informed on the practices that are transforming industries worldwide. Our mission is simple: empowering organizations to achieve transparency, accountability, and sustainability throughout their supply chains. Our vision: a world where every product's journey is visible, ethical, and sustainable. At Traceability TV, we offer unparalleled opportunities for brand visibility. Feature your company, highlight your traceability solutions, and showcase your commitment to GS1 standards. Leverage our expertise to create high-quality advertisement videos that resonate with your audience, or sponsor a segment to position your brand as a leader in the traceability space. You can support us by partnering on special projects. Your contributions help us deliver more in-depth analyses and expand our global coverage. Traceability TV is more than just a channel. It's a movement. Join us in building a future where every product's journey is visible and trusted. Traceability TV. We trace it, you trust it.
In India, a chemical leak at a pharmaceutical factory caused a deadly explosion, killing 17 people and injuring dozens more.
The explosion occurred as workers attempted to fix a solvent leak at a factory in Andhra Pradesh that produces chemicals for export. Authorities are investigating the cause, with initial reports suggesting human error may have contributed to this tragic incident.
In some good news for consumers, India's food inflation is expected to decrease in the coming months thanks to a successful harvest season.
Farmers are blocking highways and staging demonstrations nationwide, demanding fair prices for their produce. The government defends the price cuts due to economic challenges, but farmers argue that this reduction threatens their livelihoods. The protests are expected to continue until a resolution is reached.
In Kenya, 4 entrepreneurs have received grants to support their innovative waste management and circular economy projects.
These entrepreneurs have received a total of 90.3 million shillings through an investment innovation fund aimed at supporting small businesses tackling environmental challenges. Their projects range from financing mechanisms to green solutions for marine plastic waste, and they hope to drive significant change in Kenya's waste management sector.
Central and Eastern Europe are seeing a surge in solar power, with Poland and Hungary leading the way.
Solar power generation in Poland, Hungary, and neighboring countries has increased by 55% in the first 7 months of 2024, outpacing growth in wealthier European nations. This rapid expansion is reducing reliance on fossil fuels and helping these countries meet their energy needs sustainably.
In Japan, a norovirus outbreak has sickened over 450 people who consumed contaminated food at an inn in Yufu, Oita Prefecture.
Linked to spring water used in food preparation, this outbreak has primarily affected elderly guests. Authorities are investigating further to prevent additional cases and address food safety concerns in the region.
Welcome to Visibility Sports News. I'm your host Regan Gitau. In football news, Arsenal fans have something to celebrate. The Gunners are close to securing a significant transfer with a deal in place to bring a talented midfielder to the Emirates.
Arsenal has reached an agreement in principle with Real Sociedad to sign 28-year-old midfielder Mikel Merino. The deal is valued at 32.67 million euros, with an initial payment of 33.5 million euros or 28.43 million euros. Merino has agreed to a 4-year contract, bringing his experience and skill to Arsenal's midfield. The transfer is expected to be finalized soon, pending a medical examination. This move marks another ambitious step by Arsenal as they continue to bolster their squad ahead of the new season.
Newcastle United are making significant strides towards securing a deal for Crystal Palace midfielder Mark Guehi. The move could see Guehi becoming the club's record signing.
Newcastle United is edging closer to finalizing an agreement with Crystal Palace for England international Mark Guehi. The Magpies recently submitted a £65 million bid, including £60 million upfront and an additional £5 million in additional add-ons. While the offer wasn't immediately rejected, both clubs are now engaged in talks to fine-tune the structure of the deal. Sources close to the negotiations suggest there is cautious optimism that a deal could be struck by the weekend, which would see Guehi become Newcastle's most expensive signing to date.
And that wraps up our news bulletin for the day. Stay tuned for an informative documentary on the circular economy. As always, I've been your host, Marian Munyoki, and this is Traceability TV.
Welcome to Traceability TV, your ultimate destination for all things traceability. We're the global platform that brings you the latest in traceability news, interviews, and live event coverage. From in-depth news updates to exclusive interviews, Traceability TV keeps you informed on the practices that are transforming industries worldwide. Our mission is simple: empowering organizations to achieve transparency, accountability, and sustainability throughout their supply chains. Our vision: a world where every product's journey is visible, ethical, and sustainable. At Traceability TV, we offer unparalleled opportunities for brand visibility. Feature your company, highlight your traceability solutions, and showcase your commitment to GS1 standards. Leverage our expertise to create high-quality advertisement videos that resonate with your audience, or sponsor a segment to position your brand as a leader in the traceability space. You can support us by partnering on special projects. Your contributions help us deliver more in-depth analyses and expand our global coverage. Traceability TV is more than just a channel, it's a movement. Join us in building a future where every product's journey is visible and trusted. Traceability TV. We trace it, you trust it. In a world where sustainability is no longer a choice but a necessity, Kenya stands at the forefront of a transformative movement, the circular economy. Central to this movement is the Circular Innovation Hub, a pioneering initiative that redefines how we manage resources and waste. But this story is not just about innovation, it's about traceability, the cornerstone of transparency and accountability in sustainable practices. This story also takes us to the heart of Mkuru kwa Njenga slums and into the digital realm of circularity. The Circular Innovation Hub was founded with a mission to turn Kenya's linear consumption model into a circular one, where products and materials are kept in use for as long as possible. From its inception, the hub has been driven by a vision of a world where economic growth is decoupled from environmental harm, and traceability plays a vital role in this mission.
My name is Catherine Masolia. I lead the team here at the Circular Innovation Hub. So what do we do at the Circular Innovation Hub? We are a one-stop shop for circular economy excellence in Africa. So in about 2021, that's when the circular economy concept had started being talked about. And so we decided, why don't we create a place or an environment where people can come meet together, talk about circularity, learn from each other, and grow when it comes to aspects concerning circular economy. So that essentially is what the Circular Innovation Hub was established to do. Our current method of production, or predominantly the method of production we've been using, is a linear model of production. That means we take resources from the earth, we make what we're making with it, and then it ends up in the landfills as waste. Now, for circular economy, it's about closing that loop. So instead of things ending up in the landfill, we're asking ourselves, can it be put back into the loop so that we are using the resources for longer? So the concept of circularity is trying to address issues of pollution, climate change, and biodiversity loss. Because the linear method of production has impacted the environment very negatively. We are running out of the resources we need to make products. It might reach a point where now we don't have the sufficient resources to do what we're doing. So now we're asking ourselves, can we rethink our production models? Can we start to redesign so that at the point of which you're making an item, you want to make it thinking about its end of life. Can it be used for longer? So when we talk about circularity, then phrases like redesign, rethink, reuse, refurbish, remanufacture come into play. And actually recycling now ends up being one of the last options that we are thinking about when we're speaking circularity.
The Hub's innovative projects are not just transforming how we think about waste. They're proving that through traceability, we can create a more sustainable future. From tracking the journey of recycled materials to ensuring that every piece of waste is accounted for, the Hub's work is a testament to the power of traceability.
You know, with circularity, you're thinking about resources, how they can be used for longer. So that ideally would mean you want to see this resource that was used, where is it going? So you want to trace it. So if, let's say, cobalt was used and put into a battery, you want to trace from there, when the battery got to end of life, where did it go? So the tracing of that battery through its life until the time it gets to recycling. Now you see that already means you're applying circularity. Yeah. What else can I think of? A bottle, a plastic bottle. So it's been made, the plastic bottle is there. Then if it has a code with which you can trace, where did it end up? Was it eventually taken to a recycling facility? So if it has a coding system and we are thinking in terms of circularity, and maybe we have certain recycling stations that we have set up, we'll be able to tell this bottle was used for maybe packaging a particular drink, and now it ended up at this recycling station. So tracing products till end of life is one of the main things that we would be interested in when we're thinking about circularity.
But the story of circularity doesn't end within the walls of the hub. It extends into the heart of Mkuru kwa Njenga slums, where Amusha Plastics, a youth-run organization, is making a difference on the ground. For these young investors, traceability is not just a tool, but a necessity to ensure that the plastics they collect and recycle are effectively managed and contribute to a cleaner, healthier environment.
My name is Joseph Mwindi. I'm a co-founder of Amusha Waste Solution Limited. Amusha Waste Solution Limited is a solid waste management and a recycling startup that is based and founded in Mkuru kwa Njenga slums. And the reason why we started this initiative is first to create green jobs to young youths around Mukuru kwa Njenga, and also marginalized women, especially in informal settlements. We have very high levels of poverty, so we try to create job opportunities to them. But also above that, we also trying to tackle the plastic pollution problem within Mukuru kwa Njenga and entirely in the Nairobi County. Well, the reason why I started, we came together as youths within Mukuru. So Amusha is founded by a group of youths. So we grew together. So after our high school, some of us went to college, but some never went to college. So we thought of an idea of coming to create a social enterprise that will also bring the bond together of us to also create employment and also to share memories as how we grew together. Solid waste management in Mukuru is a very big challenge. Looking first in terms of the infrastructure, there are no good infrastructure within, and also the system in terms of how waste is managed in Mukuru. So that was a big challenge. So we tried to find how best we can engage the community, offer the solid waste management services, that is garbage collection services, but also out of that find value in the material that we collect. So we are playing our small part in trying to tackle the waste management problem and also the pollution problem.
Amusha Plastics embodies the spirit of grassroots innovation, turning challenges into opportunities. By embracing traceability, they are ensuring that every piece of plastic collected from the streets of Mukuru kwa Njenga is accounted for and transformed into something valuable, reducing waste and creating sustainable livelihoods for the youth.
We have a team that goes out to collect waste from the homesteads around, institutions and businesses around. So once the waste is collected, it is brought here, then we sort it out. Before we sort it out, we wait. Then now we sort it out in different waste stream or different waste fractions. So we have, for example, we have the plastic waste materials, we have the cardboard, that is the cartons, we also have the glass, we also have the metals, but our vision here is more about the plastics. So the other materials we are able to dispose to the aggregators around, we sell. But once we get the plastic now, we sort them with different materials, different colors, so that we have maybe for yellow, for green, for red. Then we have the different types of plastic, that is the HD, PP and the PETs. So in terms of traceability, we are able now to trace different plastic materials, where they came from and what they contained. Yes, before they got disposed. We have a number of challenges we face being a startups and also where we are located. As you can see, this is an informal settlement. There are a lot of challenges here. For example, in terms of movement, there are no proper infrastructure in terms of how we move our services, especially transportation of the waste materials to our place. It is a bit hard for us to do that. But also, we also lack in terms of electricity. We have a recycling plant that we are yet to connect to the power station, but it is a process we have been following the Kenya Power and Lighting Company. We are still following it, but also we lack in terms of adequate funding to properly carry our activities, because most of what we do here is done on voluntary. Most of the guys we work with, they are not paid.
While Amusha Plastics is driving change on the ground, Circularity Space is pioneering the digital aspect of circularity. Circularity Space develops software solutions that enhance traceability, making it easier for businesses and organizations to manage their resources sustainably.
My name is Eric Monene, and I Well, I've grown up next to the largest dam site in East Africa, the Dandora dam site, and growing up I used to witness men, women and sometimes even children scavenging for things to sell to make a living. So that's where it sparked the idea that things that people call waste is actually a resource. So when I joined the university, I was studying software engineering. I wanted to build a project and still make an impact in my community. So I started doing research into the Internet of Things technology and AI, and that's where Circularity Space was born. Circularity Space is a technology company that heavily works around IoT, that is Internet of Things technology, and artificial intelligence. So we collect big data from the environment, and this is mostly around waste. So we collect data on plastic, textile waste, electronic waste, anything that people throw away. We take the items, we take a lot of photos and collect as much data as possible on these specific items. Then from the data that we collect, we train an AI model to be able to, let's say, identify an item just from a photo using computer vision. So when you take let's say a waste item, a photo, our AI model should be able to tell us what type of waste it is. If that waste is plastic, it goes down to the polymer, be it HDPE, PET, and this kind of data helps companies like waste recyclers, like waste collectors, be able to narrow down into the specific type of waste that they are looking for. An example is, if a company is collecting electronic waste, then they need to ensure that items that users are bringing is electronic waste, and it's not organic, it's not plastic, it's not textile, but it's waste that they would use as raw materials in their recycling process.
Their work is crucial in bridging the gap between physical resources and digital solutions, ensuring that the principles of circular economy are seamlessly integrated into business operations. By enabling accurate and reliable data tracking, Circularity Space is not only enhancing transparency, but also helping organizations make informed decisions that align with sustainable practices.
Let me bring up one of our customers. We're working with Mr. Green, one of the largest plastic recyclers in Kenya, or maybe even in Africa. So Mr. Green has a very big factory where they collect all the plastic waste, then it's shredded, it's run through their machine, and eventually they come up with pellets that they sell to manufacturers so that they can produce more plastic waste. And this way brands are able to say or talk about sustainability, in that they're not going for the raw mineral resources in our environment, but then they're using items that is readily available. So what we're helping Mr. Green with is at the collection point. We are helping them with technology around smart bin or smart waste collection. So we provide IoT and AI powered bins, whereby if you want to drop an item and you come to the Mr. Green bin, the bin is able to tell that this is a plastic item and it's this type of plastic, let's say PET or HDPE. Then the bin will open and it will allow you to drop, and a user can also key in their phone number. So Mr. Green is able to know that this user dropped this quantity of plastic, and then they can give rewards, and these rewards come in form of points, which users usually redeem for cash or for discounts on products. So that's just a small portion on what traceability can do or can achieve. So I think at a global scale, which is the direction we are taking, we should be able to have accountability on from the producers, from the consumers, or even from the recycling companies.
Partnerships are key to driving change, and in GS1 Kenya, the Circular Innovation Hub has found a partner that shares its commitment to sustainability. GS1 Kenya, a leader in supply chain management, has brought his expertise in traceability to this partnership. Traceability, tracking products and materials throughout their life cycle, is a critical component of the circular economy. It ensures transparency, accountability, and ultimately sustainability.
So, globally, GS1 does three things. We help companies identify, capture, and share information about products, entities, and locations in the entire supply chain, and how we are able to support the circular economy and the move toward the circular and sustainable economy in a way that we are minimizing waste. First of all, like I said, that for us to enable sustainability and ensuring that the product is used for longer, Product to be used for longer need to have information about its lifetime, so that companies that are currently doing recycling maintenance, they're able to know how this product has been used, when was it manufactured, who manufactured it, which paths has it moved through, So our standards that are through the unique identifiers, for example, the GTINs and GLNs, we're able to know which commodity is in the supply chain, which entities have actually produced this commodity, and we're able to support these people in the sharing of efficient communication and sharing information, so that they're able to talk the same language in the entire supply chain. The other thing that GS1 can help most people, for example, most of our members and big entities in the economy are already implementing GS1 standards, just that they are looking for ways of implementing further, so that they support recycling measures. Recycling companies are actually looking at having better information about the things they are recycling. For example, a laptop may be recycled, but then we need to know what is the key information about this laptop, how do we service it, So all these tools and information to be efficiently traced and shared in the supply chain, GS1 standards are critical, because then we are supporting entities to speak the same language. Above all, awareness is very key, and that's where we are looking at partnering with the Circular Innovation Hub, which is an entity that brings close and together startups. They support startups with knowledge and so on. And GS1, we feel this is a move that will help us reach out to entities that are really playing a very key role in the circular journey to a greener future. So we are running an initiative where we're going to be creating learning materials, but also have sessions where people come together, we talk to them, give them knowledge on how to use our identifiers, how GS1 is able to support their journeys, and all this information in the long run will help us have a more sensitized and engaged economy, or even persons that are moving towards that. In the long run, we are achieving so many goals as a nation, and GS1 at the center of it all.
By leveraging GS1 Kenya's global standards for traceability, the Circular Innovation Hub ensures that every product's journey is meticulously documented. From raw materials to recycling, this level of detail is not just about efficiency, it's about building trust among consumers, businesses, and the environment.
So basically, the model of circularity, or a circular economy, is a concept whereby everything that we consume or produce, if you bought something for like a cloth, you ensure that this cloth could be recycled or reused for longer. The linear model entails that you get the raw materials, manufacture, produce, consume, and then waste. But a sustainable and circular model entails that a product life cycle, or the life cycle of the product, is there for longer. A cloth is purchased, you make sure how do we ensure that we minimize waste, and how to be able to minimize waste is by ensuring that we elongate the lifetime of a given commodity. You use it for longer through the entire cycle, and in the long run we're able to achieve minimal waste. That helps us to be more sustainable. And coming back to the local scene in Kenya, the Kenya Vision 2030 is basically under the social pillar, where the government is looking at having better ways of managing waste in given localities. Is actually a move to sustainability and moving towards a circular model. But as a country, you have to look at it in this way. It is no longer sustainable for us to actually produce and then we look at recycling, because every day we are producing waste, but the machinery that is available, or the companies that are actually managing this waste, are very minimal. So the only way forward for us as a country, or even the world, to achieve a greener future and a more sustainable future is by adopting a circular model. Looking also at the example of the European nations, where they are launching the digital product passport. Digital product passport is basically a way of capturing information about commodities, goods, and sharing this information throughout the entire supply chain. So we track the product from when it was produced, and then we're able to track it until the final end. So we keep on finding ways of reusing it, or even sharing information about it, so consumers are more informed on how to recycle the things they use. So basically that's the concept of circularity and a greener future. Yes.
Education and community engagement are central to the Hub's strategy. By empowering local communities and businesses with knowledge and tools, they are fostering a culture of sustainability that extends beyond the walls of the hub.
Our business is all about monetizing data, and we're offering a platform we call Circularity IQ, and Circularity IQ is it's just a data-backed dashboard whereby we're able to tell our customers, the producers, that this is the amount of, amount of waste that has been recovered, and then we help them, shift their businesses processes so that they're able to improve the efficiency of collection or improve the type of packaging that they are using. So this kind of traceability really helps us better inform our customers on the best practices, and it more or less helps the customers have an efficient system or an efficient way of running their businesses. So it even helps them in securing their bottom line, providing value with their products, and while also protecting the environment.
But implementing traceability systems is not without its challenges. From technological barriers to the need for systematic change in how businesses operate, the hub is continuously innovating to overcome these obstacles.
One of the things is awareness creation is something that people need, that needs money. So that creating awareness to the extent that we want to create it has been one of the challenges that we have. But with collaborations like the one that we have with you, GS1, then that helps us to spread the word on what circularity means. Of course, also dealing with startups is easy, but the message on circularity should not be confined to startups. It needs to go out into the corporates. So, and they have different procedures and different ways of working, and it's a bit more challenging when you want to work with corporates because of just the kind of business model that they have and how long it takes maybe for decisions to be done. So that challenges with awareness creation is one of them. Then when we are supporting the startups, some of them are coming up with new products, innovative products. But you see, for a product to be sold in Kenya, then it needs KEBS certification. The process of getting KEBS certification by a young person with a startup is difficult. So there is discussion about the Startup Act and the kind of changes that need to be made in the regulation and in the laws to help innovations to move along faster and get tested faster so that we see if they can be adopted faster. So just that also has proven to be a bit of a challenge for us. But generally, I think people are open to the concept of circularity. They want to learn, and that is something that we will continue to do as actively as we can.
Yet, with each challenge comes an opportunity to innovate, adapt, and redefine what's possible in the realm of sustainability.
So, circularity, we view ourselves as the leaders in the circular economy value chain, not only in Kenya but the whole of Africa. We would like to be the tech enablers for all waste recycling companies, for brands, for manufacturers. Would like to add value to the data or the waste data that we are producing. And coming back to the story of where this whole this whole company or this whole idea came from, I want to create this impact back in the community whereby we can do away with landfills altogether. We can better impact the community whereby people are able to earn a dignified form of living, because everything we throw away has value, and there are people who want to, who are willing to, as they're cleaning the environment, but then they have the time, and we need to better pay them for their services. So through circularity, we're able to make sure that they get value for the work that they put in. And third, we view circularity as leaders in, the global approach in where AI or technology can meet the environmental challenges that we are having.
As we look to the future, the Circular Innovation Hub, GS1 Kenya, Amusha Plastics and Circularity Space are not just partners in innovation, they are architects of a new economy where traceability ensures that every step taken is a step towards sustainability.
If you're a corporate entity, ask yourself, how circular am I? And if you think it's a challenge being more circular, please get in touch with the Circular Innovation Hub and we will help you to do it. If you're an individual, start to rethink how you're consuming and ask yourself, do I need to consume like this? For government entities, start to ask yourself, how can you support these entrepreneurs and all these people who are coming up with innovations in circularity, so that we can actually be applying circularity as widely as possible. For institutions of higher learning, I challenge them. You have the capacity, you have the brains to help us to do more research and see how can we start to innovate better and come up with new designs in terms of the products that we are doing. Can we use materials in a different way so that we create products that are more circular and good for the environment?
The future of traceability is bright, with advancements in technology poised to make tracking and tracing more efficient, transparent, and impactful. As these organizations continue to lead this movement, their work is setting a blueprint for others to follow, a blueprint where sustainability and traceability go hand in hand.